As the world mourns Pope Francis, history's most secretive transfer of power begins. White smoke, the path to a new pope, guides you through this momentous transition. We explain exactly what happens next, leading to the dramatic conclave vote. Learn how each ritual unfolds, what each tradition means, and why these ancient ceremonies still matter today. Follow along as the throne of St. Peter stands empty and a new chapter in church history begins. White Smoke, available wherever you get your podcasts.
Which country consumes the most coffee per person? Italy? Colombia? Somewhere else? I'm Mark Ellison, and on 5 daily trivia questions, I deliver fascinating facts and surprising statistics every weekday. Whether you're a history buff, science geek, or pop culture fanatic, there's something for everyone. 5 daily trivia questions, and the biggest coffee drinkers, it's Finland, with the average Finn consuming over 26 pounds of coffee annually. 5 daily trivia questions.
Calaroga Shark Media.
From Washington, D.C., where we'd like a decaf, this is Ballot.
That's right. That's one of those jokes that pays off 5 minutes from now. Just stick with it. Hi, I'm Patrick Gutfield with news about my diet. Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. just made a huge announcement that's got the food industry seeing red, or rather, not seeing red anymore. He's phasing out all petroleum-based artificial food dyes from our nation's food supply as part of his Make America Healthy Again agenda. Back in January, before President Biden packed his bags, the FDA announced they were giving red dye number 3 the boot. You know, that stuff that's in some foods and medications. Well, now Kennedy wants companies to stop using it even sooner than the 2027 to 2028 deadline. But wait, there's more. He's also planning to kick citrus red number 2 and orange B to the curb in the coming months. Next, he'll ban Mambo number 5. And if you thought that was the end of it, hold on to your artificially colored hats. By the end of next year, they want to phase out the 6 remaining artificial food colorings, including red number 40. That's right. The government is coming for your Skittles. What is red number 40, you ask? Well, according to Dr. Kelly Johnson Arbor, a toxicologist at MedStar Health, it's one of the most commonly used synthetic food dyes in America. The FDA approved it back in 1971, and it's been making your sodas, cereals, and baked goods look prettier ever since. Now, both the FDA and European Food Safety Authority have said red number 40 is safe for consumption, as long as you don't go overboard. Scott Keatley, a registered dietitian, says a person weighing 154 pounds could theoretically consume up to 490 milligrams daily without expected adverse effects. I don't know about you, but I've never measured my daily red number 40 intake. Is that something people do? Hold on, honey. I've already had 489 milligrams of red number 40 today. I can only have 1 more milligram of this cherry Coke. So where does one find these soon-to-be-banned dyes? In pretty much everything that makes life worth living. Skittles, M&Ms, Trix, Lucky Charms, Fruit Loops, Apple Jacks. Basically 90% of my diet since college. I guess we'll all be eating gray cereal soon. Taste the Rainbow will become Taste the Various Shades of Beige, but hey, at least we'll be healthier, right? Or at least our food will look like it came from the 1950s again. Make America grayscale again. Guys, I can't even make this next one up. I'm on whitehouse.gov. The headline says, again, I am not making this up. On Earth Day, we finally have a president who follows science. For a second, I thought they were announcing a new president, but no, I kept reading. It says, under President Donald J. Trump, America is back. Leveraging environmental policies rooted in reality to promote economic growth while maintaining the standards that have afforded Americans the cleanest air and water in the world for generations. Unlike the previous administration, which wasted billions of taxpayer dollars on virtue signaling and ineffective grifts, the Trump administration's policies are rooted in the belief that Americans are the best stewards of our vast natural resources, no Green New scam required. All that to say, it's been a minute since I've read George Orwell. We've got some breaking news from the television world that's more dramatic than the season finale of any reality show. Bill Owens, the executive producer of 60 Minutes, just resigned faster than a politician backpedaling on campaign promises. Now, let me set the scene for you. Owens has been running this TikTok news institution since 2019. But apparently, he couldn't take the heat in the kitchen anymore. In his goodbye note, he basically said, "I can't run this show the way I want to anymore, so I'm out of here." Very subtle, Bill. Very subtle. This whole mess started when President Trump sued 60 Minutes for $20 billion. That's billion with a B, claiming they edited an interview with Kamala Harris to make her look good. CBS was like, "Nuh-uh, we didn't," and even released the full transcript, which is the journalistic equivalent of saying, "Check my phone, I dare you." Meanwhile, CBS's parent company, Paramount Global, run by Sherry Redstone, is trying to merge with Skydance Media. And rumor has it, they're in mediation to settle with Trump, which the 60 Minutes team apparently hates more than decaf coffee. Keep listening. In his memo, Owen said he was stepping aside so the show can move forward, which is kind of like how I dance at a wedding after 7 drinks. White smoke. The path to a new pope explores humanity's most elaborate and secretive transfer of power, a process now unfolding following the death of Pope Francis. This series reveals the hidden rituals, ancient traditions, and behind-the-scenes drama of papal transition. As the Catholic world enters this solemn period of mourning and anticipation, join us in witnessing how the Church has perfected this sacred process over 2,000 years and what happens in these crucial days when the throne of St. Peter stands empty. White Smoke brings listeners inside the conclave that will determine who will succeed Pope Francis and lead the Church into its next chapter. White Smoke, wherever you get your podcasts. Ever notice how the villains often steal the show? All this week, 5 Daily Trivia Questions celebrates these scene stealers with a special Villains Week event. Host Mark Ellison will take you on a journey through the fascinating world of antagonists, from the methodical Hannibal Lecter to the magical Maleficent, the calculating Moriarty to the chaotic Joker. What, no electric car manufacturers? Each day brings 5 new questions about the characters that push our heroes to their limits, and sometimes make us question which side we're really on. Whether you're a pop culture expert or just appreciate a good antagonist, Villains Week offers something for everyone. It's the perfect blend of entertainment and education that 5 Daily Trivia Questions is known for. It's Villains Week on 5 Daily Trivia Questions, available wherever you get your podcasts. Because sometimes it's good to be bad. Tired of doom scrolling? Want news that won't make you want to live in a bunker? Check out 5 Good News Stories, where they find the silver lining in a world that's usually lined with something much less pleasant. The gang at 5 Good News Stories dig through the headlines to find 5 stories that prove humanity hasn't completely lost its mind. It's pretty much the opposite of this show. From scientific breakthroughs nobody's talking about to random acts of kindness that restore your faith in humanity, all delivered with the cutting wit you deserve. 5 Good News Stories, because sometimes the news doesn't have to suck. Subscribe to 5 Good News Stories wherever you get your podcasts. Apparently, flight attendants have been eye-rolling me, and not just because I hit on them. A flight attendant named Leanna has gone public with what might be the most devastating judgment you'll receive at 30,000 feet, ordering decaf coffee. I mean, think about this for a second. You're trapped in a metal tube hurtling through the sky, and your beverage choices is, yes, I'd like that brown water that tastes like it was filtered through an old shoe, but hold the one redeeming quality it has. Been there, done that. This brave flight attendant went on TikTok and basically said what we've all suspected. Airplane coffee is sketchy at best, but decaf, that's just madness. You're telling me you enjoy that flavor for the flavor? That's like going to prison voluntarily because you heard the food was amazing. But wait, the plot thickens like day-old airline coffee. A former flight attendant turned pilot named Kevin spilled the beans on how they clean those coffee pots. Apparently, they dumped the old coffee into, are you ready for this? The airplane toilet. The spout gets dangerously close to where Well, you know what happens in airplane bathrooms. Kevin, with all the dramatic flair of someone who's seen things he can't unsee, said, "I imagine there's some kind of backsplash of particles, bacteria, whatever that goes directly back into the coffee pot. So that extra kick you taste, not premium coffee beans." Portions of today's show were made with the help of Bathroom Coffee, Red 40, and AI.